she has become. Her work centers on helping people slow down. Let me take that advice right now. Her work helps people slow down, reflect, and reconnect with themselves while building lives that feel aligned and limitless. Whether she's speaking about navigating identity after service, balancing career shifts, or embracing personal growth, Leslie brings honest conversation, relatable. Jesus, did you hear me? Relatable storytelling and a grounded perspective that resonates with audiences seeking both purpose and peace. So, Leslie, I want to ask you my famous question that I ask everybody. Who is Leslie beyond the bio?
Oh, hey girl. Okay, let me answer this question. Okay, yes. So I just think Leslie Beyond the Bio is a girl who is just trying to figure it out in every season that she's in. And I would say that as a label for me, I'm a sister,
Mm,
I'm a friend, I'm a daughter, I'm a goddaughter.
mm,
And I'm definitely a person who I feel like my friends can lean on and feel confident that, their situation, whatever they're going through, they can feel confident and trust me with
mm.
those things. I do feel like I'm someone who is trustworthy, who is loyal, who is down to earth, who is
Yes.
an earthy girl, who is a Christian woman,
Okay.
God hallelujah. But just honestly, I just feel like I'm a girl who literally is just trying to get to know herself
Mm,
in every season. So oftentimes when people ask like, who is Liz Latrice? Like, who are you, girl? And I'm just like, just a growing human being. Like
yeah.
God's favorite sunflower is honestly one of the things I say to myself because I feel like a sunflower is kind of slow to grow, but when it gets
Mm,
to its height, you know what I'm saying, its peak, you really see what it got going on, and it shines really bright. And I feel
that's
like that's
good.
a little bit of an analogy about who I am.
That's real good. I felt
Yeah.
like that one meme where the guy is like,
The Salt
gotta
Bay.
gotta add a little razzle dazzle. That's what I felt like when you said
Little
that.
toot toot.
God's sunflower. Because I
Yeah,
definitely was about to ask, like, what does that mean? God's sunflower. I like
yeah,
that.
I got you. I got you, girl.
So one of the questions I wanted to ask you, I noticed in your bio on Instagram that you said living life limitless as best, or something like that.
hmm
Like, help me with my words, because clearly I
I
don't have
think it
them.
says limitless living at its best.
There we go.
Something like that. The woo, the woo.
Whew,
hmm
there we go. And I was so intrigued by seeing that, and also by seeing your bio talking about this limitless. And so I want to know, like, what does that mean that you're living life? You got the words.
Limitlessly and at
Lim-
its best. Yes, ma'am. So honestly, well, let's start with limitless living, then we get into the best part.
okay, come on.
So for me, when I guess first started living my life as an adult was when I graduated college. Most people kind of get their bearings in college,
Yeah.
but I felt like once I started becoming more independent
Mm,
living once I got out of college and went into the military. I served in the military for 9.5 years, and through that time, I was almost forcibly independent. Like I
mm,
was by myself, away from family, friends, and all the things, and I was able to create and build this community, this online community that I
mm-hmm.
currently have in nurture right now,
Yeah.
started back in 2016. And so through that time, I really didn't have hobbies. I didn't
Mm,
really know who I was,
yeah.
what I like to do, who I wanted to be around, what kind of friends did I want, what kind of leader was I going to be. I
Mm,
had no idea. So I was like, well, how do I figure out these things?
yeah.
And I heard you need to experience them, which means that
Mm,
I would need to get out there and try them and just live life, right?
yeah.
And so at that time, even though I was still in the military, which is very structured, it's I-10 by 10, you kind of know what you're going to get into on a daily basis. You have
Yeah.
rules and regulations to follow, all the things. It's almost like a straight path. Like you can't really fail here.
Yeah.
And so on my off time, I would try new things. Like I just went natural 2014. I didn't
Mm.
know a lot about doing my natural hair.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, and then I'm also in the military where I have to have my hair look neat and professional.
Yeah.
So this was this was a bit of a struggle for you, girl. I didn't
Yeah.
really know what to do. So so I figure, well, maybe there's people out there who are having similar struggles, and I can be someone that just lets them know that they're not alone and we're learning this together. So you know
Yeah.
how like on YouTube they have like how-to tutorials.
Yeah.
I used to do try-to tutorials. We're gonna try to figure this out
I like that.
together.
I
Yes.
like that.
So I used to do that around a lot of different activities and things within the same space, right? I would do what I kind of saw the people that I liked, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I like that, and I want to try that. And so that came with hair, skincare, going
Mm.
shopping, doing hauls, like all the things you might have seen your favorite creators doing back in the day. I was just trying to do these things to figure out what I like to do. And
Yeah.
so where my community built was around natural hair. And then ultimately, I started to get more into sharing my military journey.
Mm-hmm.
And that was not necessarily something that I felt like I saw people in the military doing, because it was
Yeah.
not as common as it is now for military service members to show who they are outside of uniform
Yeah.
online back then. So those two things, like the beauty industry and my military experience, were kind of what helped me culminate this community, and then or excuse me, cultivate this community, and then also kind of get a better understanding about who I was as a person. And so once I continued through my journey to the military, now I'm getting into my transition point where I'm about to get out of the military, and a
Mm.
lot of my identity is now attached to my
Right.
service.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, yeah, who are you really? Like we thought we knew, you know what I'm saying, right? We thought we knew because you did all the things, you tried a lot of
That's
stuff,
good.
but it really started to become like codependent on my
Yeah.
service with who I was, and I struggled mentally through that transition
Mm.
because of that thinking and like what I kind of did throughout my service. So I went back to the drawing board. I did some of the same things that I did when I first was trying to figure out who Leslie was, but instead I dug deeper into me, like not
Yeah.
the things I'm doing.
That's good.
But how do you feel? How do you feel when you're doing these things? Do you truly like these things, or are you receiving accolades? Are you successful? Are you just good at these
Mm.
things? And then, so because you're good at it, you like it, or is it? So I'm really just starting to be curious about what I'm truly experiencing. And then now, when I do that, I'm able to um, determine who I am
Yeah.
by how I feel and what resonates with me. And so that really helped me through my transition. And what I ultimately realized, as I had multiple people in my ear like, Leslie, this is the avenue you should go down. You should just do military content. Oh no, girl, you was really good at that beauty content. You should just
Mm.
do that. Oh, you're into project management. You're really good at that. So I mean,
Yeah.
that should be your lane. I wasn't really liking all that. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like there's a lot of people out there who have multiple talents, so much skill, period. Come on, Ash. So much skills and talents and just opportunity to do so much. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like I'm one of those people, because I
Yeah.
think there's some people that say, I know a little bit about a lot, and there's
Yeah.
other people that know a lot about a little bit, and
Yeah.
that's fine. But I feel like I'm a person that knows and has experienced a little bit about a lot, right?
Yeah.
But also there's areas that I feel like I want to be in, and I
Mm.
don't want anybody to tell me that I got to choose one.
That's good.
Like I want to be, in all different areas. That's why when you mention my bio, it's like it was difficult for me to determine and be able to articulate what I guess what my value is in this
Yeah.
industry, because I felt like I had so much to offer. And every day you're not going to get the same thing from me,
That's
because
good.
a lot of who I am is embedded in what I produce and what I share. So I'm a limitless person. Why not have limitless content? Why does my content have to look the same? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of time you don't know what you're gonna get. That's why when you pop out with a baby announcement, people are like,
Popped out.
people are like, "What, girl? We didn't know." Yes, girl, because you just don't know what you're gonna get. So that's why you gotta stick around to see what's
Because I
going
did not know at all. I mean, there was no hints at all. It was like, wait a minute,
on.
there's a
Exactly.
baby.
It's a baby in a girl, yes. But yeah, so to my point, like you just don't know what you're gonna get. It's unpredictable, and I feel like that's what I liked to be, and
Yeah,
then also expressing my content. So that's where the limitless part comes in. Like, don't let anybody put you into a box because people will. They'll try
yeah,
to tell you this is the only thing you can do, the only thing that you're good at, etc., etc. Figure that out on your own and make your own decisions about where you want to go. And if you decide that's the only thing you want to do, cool. But don't let anybody else
yeah,
determine what you should be doing and who you should be, because we're just too expansive for that,
yeah.
you know? And so that's the limitless part. But the best part is just honestly when it comes to effort,
Uh huh.
right? Like you can live a limitless life and just be la di da, whatever. Like, oh, I have all this freedom. You know, I'm human. I have this autonomy now. Especially that's kind of what I felt like when I got out of the military,
Hmm.
and then also started to pursue my career full time as a content creator. It
Yeah.
was very difficult for me to um, kind of become or build a schedule.
Mm. Oh no. Oh no. What happened? Hold on, guys. I got to get her back on here. And she was on fire, too. Oh, thank Jesus.
I was still up here. What happened,
Okay, I don't know. It just literally, I didn't see you anymore.
girl? Okay,
Whoo, whoo. I was over here freaking out. I was like, wait
no,
a minute. It was getting good.
get into it, baby. Get into it. Dang. Okay, so let me see if I can get us back on track. Okay, so no, but I just feel like the best comes in, and it's just a matter of putting your best foot forward
Yeah,
and your best effort forward
yeah,
in this limitless life that you want to live, because you do have so much you can have, right? And like I
yeah,
said, for my example, so much time, freedom, autonomy, especially after, major transitions such as myself getting out of the military, is
yeah.
difficult. It was difficult for me to, excuse me, it was difficult for me to determine the best use of my time,
Mm,
because I was doing content creation while I was serving in the military. And I was like, oh, this will be great. Now I can fully commit to doing content. But now that I have all this time, it's like, but I kind of want to relax. I kind of want to just take a little time for me, and then sometimes that can be to your detriment because you can extend that time. Like you could be on vacation for months and ain't no
mm.
work get done. Money ain't being made. So it's certain things that when you are putting your best foot forward, is taking the things that you've learned from your past life, like your
Yeah,
military life, your project management life, or whatever your career path is, the skills that you learn and applying them to the life that you want to live.
what is going on? For my prayer warriors, I need y'all praying right now in the name of Jesus. Oh, Leslie, if you hear me, come back. For those listening and tuning in, weirdly, we're having some technical difficulties, but that's okay because it's gonna come back together. I have no idea what's going on. it just keep kicking you off, and it's probably because you're saying something we need to hear. I cannot believe this. I think you sending too much fire. I see you again. For some reason, I don't know if it's just me, but it just, you're talking and it's getting so good, and then randomly the screen just goes out, and I'm like, wait, where'd she go?
I don't know what's going on either. Oh no.
Okay, so I think the audience has seen it too, but you know what? I feel like what you are saying is so good. I don't care. I'm gonna just keep persevering because I got so many questions. I'm getting freedom on tonight in the name of Jesus. Where the
In
oil at? We
Jesus'
need to
name.
anoint my
In
head.
Jesus' name,
My cup is
honey.
running thin over.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Maybe
don't
I
know if you
should I?
wanna go ahead.
Okay, you can hear me now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We
Okay, girl, we back together.
yeah.
Okay.
When you sent the when you sent the picture, I could see you again.
Okay, girl. Like, look, we're back. I'm here. Been here for a minute.
And we're back.
Applying the things that you've learned from your last life. Lord is helping me. Jesus is bringing in. I'm getting these downloads because, baby, I almost forgot. Okay.
Come on.
So, so applying what you've learned, the skills you've developed in your past life to the current life that you are living and the life you want to live so that you can create the best possible systems and habits so that you can maintain that
Mm,
limitless life. And I believe that's how you make it your best one.
mm.
So that's it. We could cut that.
I forget screaming. So we did have some comments come in. My girl Alex said, many of us who are multi-talented for sure. She said, I know a little about a lot, LOL. My girl Whitney is in the chat, the Christian home girl. She said, Leslie's
Mm.
skin is gorgeous.
Got that baby boy in there. Okay, you feel me? He making me good, girl. Baby boy is getting me right.
That baby boy is getting the skin just right.
You hear me? Thank you very much, girl. Thank you, Whitney.
It was so much that you said though that was like inspiring me because number one, when you were talking about the limitlessness and how I believe that, as Christians and as just people, as humans, like we have so many different talents. Like we are very multifaceted. And I think when we were younger, that we were given this idea that what do you want to be when you grow up? One thing. Choose one thing, and that's it. What do you want to be when you grow up? Once you figure that out, I need you to stick to the plan and just do that one thing your entire life. But then what happens, like let's say, sports, you're in sports, and what happens when you get an injury and now that one thing that you thought you were gonna do your entire life now shifts and pivots and you have to move into a different lane. I love how you
Mm-hmm.
even mentioned that your identity was so deeply wounded into the military background that when you did have to shift, now who am I? Like
Mm-hmm.
who is this person, Jesus? Because I'm so used to being military, that's my identity, that now I have to figure out what is life after the military, what is life after the sports career, what is life after the business fail, what is life after these things occur. And something that I admired about what you said is that you mentioned getting to know yourself, like not what I do but who I am. And I think that is so important because if I'm being honest, it wasn't until maybe like the end of last year to this year that I've been discovering who I am, and it's not based off of what I do.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my understanding of who I thought I was, it was just based off of what I was accomplishing and what I was doing. And it wasn't until God had like so politely let me know I didn't know who I was at all. And I was like, for real? It's crazy.
The thing is, let me just say
Go
this because
ahead.
you
Go
ain't asked the
ahead.
question, but what you
Go ahead.
said there was the thing is what we do can tell us a lot about
Mm-hmm.
who we are, but
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes we just associate who we are with the exact like task we do or
Right.
something
Yeah.
or our roles and responsibilities. So when that job or that career or whatever that is that we
Yeah.
were doing is snatched away from us, we get fired, laid off, it's
Yeah.
time to go.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. But when you truly think about everything that you've done,
Mm-hmm.
you can really understand who you are. For
Yeah.
example, I am a person who values punctuality. That is
Mm.
the type of person I am.
Yeah.
The military, yes, may have helped instill that discipline in me,
Yeah.
but even get going outside of the military, I'm on time. You know what I'm saying? You said be here 15 minutes early, 6:45. I was sitting here at 6:38. You know what I'm saying? So it's in me to be
Yeah.
punctual. I
Yeah.
am that type of person, but that's what we have to learn to extract from the things that we're
Mm.
doing.
That's
So
good.
it's not necessarily to downplay what we do, but more so really get in tune with why you're so great at what you're doing.
Mm.
What type of skills are you putting towards this? Also, what attributes, characteristics help you be great at
Yeah.
this? Where your strengths and weaknesses come into play. Oh, I don't do that because I don't speak in public
Yeah.
because it brings me anxiety, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm an anxious public speaker. That tells you something about yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a matter of really analyzing what you're doing too, and then really taking what you've learned from that and applying it to self. And if that's not who you want to be,
Yeah.
then you can always change that. There's
Yeah.
nothing, there's nothing stopping you from making a change to who you are. It's just a matter of work and it's a
Mm.
matter of effort. And I think sometimes, that's where we kind of get confused or
Yeah.
it becomes a challenge. And then if it's not easy, then we don't do it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, what's some advice that you would give a person that is in that state of transition where, life as they knew it is not what they're moving into, and they're trying to figure out what's like my new normal now that I've transitioned out of what I was used to?
I think, well, I'll speak to my experience when
Okay.
I was getting out of the military. Um, I have to admit it was a bit of a struggle for me to make that transition because I had been institutionalized for 9 years,
Yeah.
essentially. And so I think what really helped me during that time was peeling back the layers, and I could not do that by myself.
Mm.
The walls were closing in. Let me be very clear. The walls were closing in. I was getting very anxious. I was overthinking. There was like a cycle in my head like, girl, you don't know who you are. You won't be
Mm.
anything without the military. Like all of that was happening at once.
Mm.
But I did seek help and
Yeah.
support. And
Yeah.
I think that a lot of times we feel like because, these things have happened to us, they only happen to us, but we're
Yeah.
not doing any of this alone. Nine
Yeah.
times out of 10, the thing that's happened to us, a bunch of people have been through,
Yeah.
right? But not but on top of that, I really found that one, sharing, letting my community means so much to me, yo. Like my online community means so
Yeah.
much to me, but letting my friends, my community, my family, my support, even my military, battle buddies and stuff know, like, hey, like I'm struggling or whatever the case may
Yeah.
be. Um, what advice do you have? Can you facilitate? Because my stressor was getting another
Mm.
job, right? Like, because
Mm.
there's things that will also come into play outside of just who trying to figure out who you're going to be or
Yeah.
what's your next. Well, really, it is about figuring out what your next phase is what it's gonna look like, right? And sometimes that's determined by where you're going next. Like, what are you gonna do
Mm.
next? What do you want to do next? So I would say for me, the first thing I did was lean on my support,
Yeah.
and I told them what I was going through, the things that I was struggling with. But then the second thing was, what do I want to do?
Mm.
Who do I want to be? And that takes work. I did a lot of journaling. a
Yeah.
bunch of journaling. So I did a lot of self-reflection. I was like, oh, well, content creating is, an option. I really like doing hair, maybe cosmetology school, other things like that. And I went, what else did I do? Oh, I was doing job applications, so I really had a lot of different plans.
Yeah.
And I think having taking some time to develop multiple plans for what
Mm.
you can truly see your life being. Like I said, limitless, limitless. You don't have to just have one plan. And a lot of times people do tell you to have plan A, B, C, And I think that was what was very helpful for me and helped take a lot of weight off me is because, okay, I'm waiting on plan A to come through. Plan B, cosmetology school, I'm gonna have to go visit some schools. Plan C, content creating, I'm already doing that. Now I just got to turn it full time. How do I do that? So it was just a lot of brainstorming. And then so once you get to
I just want y'all to know I gotta ask Riverside for my money back. Don't worry, we'll be able to see her again in just a second. It's you popping back on the screen with the water. Oh, oh, Leslie, you are so funny.
because I said, well, I'll be back.
Maybe we getting you some break times. Just give you a.
Or something, because I'm just whipping them up. Okay. I was practicing. So a very helpful tool was
Uh-huh.
therapy.
Yeah.
I did do therapy. Thank God the military did offer, like, they had free mental health sessions and things like that. But therapy was very helpful for me. And so I definitely recommend that, especially if you're, feeling like maybe in a more um I don't want to say depressive, but maybe you're
Mm-hmm.
just kind of feeling alone and
Yeah.
like you need to be able to express yourself and get some sound advice from somebody that's neutral that can really kind of help you structure your thoughts a little bit better. I think therapy is helpful. So I think, yeah, I hope that was helpful. I think I said therapy. I said
Support
do some
system.
self reflection. Yeah, do some self reflection on what you want your next life to look like and write those things down. And then also let your support know what's going on and what you need in that time. And I honestly think that you're going to come up with a great transition story or a great transition plan for
Mm-hmm.
yourself between what life look like and what you want your life to be.
Because you're dropping so many gems, my brain is hyperventilating, I think, because I'm trying to figure out which thing can I go to. Because you said something earlier. Well, number one, let me attack the plan A, plan B, plan C. For me, that wasn't my story. Like, I was taught have plan A. Like, there was no idea, or there was no vision of having a plan B. It was like, no, plan A, focus on plan A. And I have some friends who we are all multifaceted. We're multi-talented and we do so many different things. And one of the things that I see we encounter a lot is for other people on the outside, they often look at us and be like, you're doing too much. You're doing too much because it's like we're not necessarily niching down. Like, we know we're good at this thing, we know we're good at that thing, and even the branding is showcasing like, no, I'm good at these different things. But I would want to ask you, just based off of that thought, like, what is your advice to the person that is getting this backlash of people saying like you're doing the most just because they're exploring the different gifts in life that they want?
Cut them off. I mean, oh, I
You
hate to
need to
say it, but
cut
it's
it.
giving. Yeah, no, it's I No, but seriously though, I mean, not cut them off, but you definitely don't need them as a sounding board or
Mm,
to express your wishes, your desires, whatever it is that you want to do, because those are the people that prevent you from actually seeing yourself for everything that you can be.
mm,
I don't want anybody in my corner that would tell me that there's something that I can't do.
yeah.
Now, there's a difference with saying, "Hey friend, I see you tackling a lot of things.
Mm,
You it might be this might be overwhelming you because this is the behavior I'm seeing from you.
mm,
Maybe revisit or let's reflect on that." Like there's
yeah.
a difference with someone looking out for you versus someone basically telling you that you should back off of
Mm,
whatever aspirations that you have.
yeah.
So, in my opinion, it could be a conversation, obviously with that person, but if that was me, that ain't somebody that I feel like I can confide in about the things that I want to do with my life, because those are the same people that again are preventing me from exploring my best self.
Yeah. And so for me, once again, I'm loving this conversation on just like limitless and what does that mean? Because I remember when I was younger, I think I was transitioning from college to trying to actually find a job. And I was in this program for just a short period of time where I thought I was working for these people and I wasn't. God clearly wanted me to go somewhere else. So just my little ad lib. And um and I remember coming up with this statement that I said, I'm gonna live by this. And I said, don't wait for the opportunity, create the opportunity. And I had this mindset that if the opportunity never presented itself, I could present myself the opportunity and make it happen for me. And so
Mhm.
like I ultimately when I left school, I wanted to go into a bit of like journalism because I like interviewing. I just like interviewing people. I love hearing people's story and I love retelling the stories and sharing it with the next person. And so I remember I got a job that literally the Lord blessed me with, but there was this part of me that felt like I had so many layers to my identity that the other layers didn't feel like they were being fed.
Mhm.
Given I can be good at many things, but that doesn't mean I want to be excellent in just doing this one thing. And
Mhm.
so while I was navigating like having this job, but also trying to do these extracurricular activities, I guess,
Mhm.
I started like applying for other jobs. I was looking for marketing jobs. I was looking for PR jobs. I was literally looking for different positions that I thought fit what I believed I was good at and what I was called to do. I was even looking for like opportunities to like expand and being a business coach, right? And I think what's so amazing about God is that number one, God is limitless. So what I love about what you said is, I take that if I mirror my father is limitless, which means if I am his child and I am in his image and his likeness, that means I am without limits as well because
Amen.
I operate from his spirit and not my own. And something that I've learned about myself in my journey with God is that I often would limit God.
Mhm.
God would give me visions and ideas and I would limit them based off of what I thought I was capable of doing, my
Mhm.
capacity, not realizing that if I just trusted in him and just obeyed, maybe what I thought was my capacity, like if I'm lifting weights, maybe what I thought I could handle, and my trainer tell me a little bit more, maybe just maybe I could push more iron than I originally thought. And so
Right.
going back to that story, I remember I ended up creating a website. One thing that I don't like is when people tell me I can't do something.
I got something for you.
Cause don't tell me I can't do something. Cause I let me show you and tell your mama too. I can do. And
Period.
and so this one girl, I remember this girl at my old job. She had told me, pretty much like you probably want to try and get somebody to do a website because pretty much just discrediting me from learning.
Right.
So I remember I was so annoyed by what she said that within one weekend, I studied so much on how to create a website. I created 3 websites in one weekend. I said, okay, said I couldn't do it. Let me show you what I can do.
Mhm.
And that spiral into me understanding myself as a creative because I started with doing websites and then I created a website where I was pretty much doing like online promotion where
Mm-hmm.
literally what I'm doing now, I was doing it on a smaller scale. I had started this website called Millennial Showcase where I was reaching out to people all around the city and asking them like, hey, I just want to interview people, yada, 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 right? This is years ago. I put this thing down thinking I need to just focus on, once
Mm-hmm.
again, this job that I have. But I don't think it to be a coincidence that when I quit my job, God started bringing back every single thing I wiped away, everything that I brushed away and thought was over. He started bringing those things back to my mind. And I think I had to begin to shift and out of this mindset that I can only be good at one thing. Like I can
Mm-hmm.
only be good at speaking. I can only be good at camera work. I can only be good at these few things. And so what I've been noticing within my journey right now, like I am exercising all the gifts. People often ask me like, "You don't work a 9 to 5?" No, I just let all my gifts work for me. I'm getting paid to operate in all these gifts. That's what they're here for.
Period. You know what I hear
Go ahead.
too? Um, God literally did the same thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Except the thing is I used to so I had all these different. First of all, let me just start here. Never in my life did I foresee myself being an entrepreneur.
That was gonna be one of my questions.
No,
Glad we
ma'am.
got that out the way.
Yeah, for sure. Never seen it. Never seen it in the vision. And I'm a person that could see it, you know what I'm saying? A little bit. At least out there, I'm like, all right, girl, I think, you know. But this right here, never thought I'd have the opportunity. But while I was serving in the military, I mean, I didn't know it at the time, but God was downloading little stuff, right? Like he
Yeah.
was like, girl, you should do, candles or something like that, right? Like it was like
Mm-hmm.
something product based, something that makes people feel good, smell good, all the things. Like, okay, well, I had started tinkling with it and then I was like, like fluttered away, right?
Yeah.
And then later on, it was like, okay, thinking about the convenience of or the inconvenience sometimes natural hair can be, right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
so how thinking about all the things I can do to make doing my hair a little bit more convenient and easy for me, right? And so that was things that I felt like he was downloading, like all these different product type things for that.
Yeah.
And then thinking about my community and how much my community has facilitated me in my growth journey and where I'm going spiritually and even just who I am and who I'm growing to be. And I was like, who did that? Right? Like which community? Definitely my online community, but definitely my military community.
Mm.
Okay, cool. So like how can I use what I've learned here and cultivate something, you know what I'm saying, community wise.
Yeah.
All these different things that God was always putting in my, downloading to me, but I would kind of start it and then it would trickle off, right?
Mm.
And I realized that it was because I was not consulting God. I know
That's
he was
good.
telling me stuff, but we
Yeah.
wasn't talking like that.
That's
Like
good.
I wasn't like, I see this and this, that, what that's supposed to mean. What should I do with this? How do we put that together?
That's
And
good.
when I finally did, when my spiritual journey really started to grow, that was probably a few years ago.
Mm.
When I finally did, he was like, girl, I've been trying to tell you
The
that
whole
all
time.
these things come together. They work
Yes.
together,
Yes. Come on.
because it's very much limitless, and that is the name of the business that him and I are creating. It is called
Wow.
Limitless. Yes,
Come
it's just spelled a little
on.
differently. Okay, it's just spelled a little different,
Yes.
but it is called Limitless. Okay, and it really does facilitate Black and Brown service women in uniform to really help them understand who they are, reflect on who they are, and build a sisterhood and community within that small organization, because that's not something I had. And I
Yeah.
do feel like everything that he was giving me will facilitate. Because, like I said, I was going through the natural hair journey as a service member. I think people are still figuring that out. And even
Yeah.
if they're not, whatever we create, I believe will can facilitate them. Everybody love a good candle. You know what I'm saying?
That
Something
part.
that makes the house smell good. So it's always
And
something.
you do.
Girl, I got
Had to
one right
light
here.
it up
I
before
got
we
one right
started.
here too. Okay, it's always
Okay.
something. Yeah, I
Had to
got it
light it
there.
up before we started. Yes.
Yeah, so it's like all the things that he was really downloading for me or to me was to get me to this point, because
Yeah.
that's not even the business that I'm currently generating revenue from.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more than confident that it will be, right? Because all of that experience, all of my experience with content
Yes.
creation, with storytelling, with community building, will facilitate that ultimate vision for what what him and I are going to create. So I believe I completely can relate to what you're saying, because you're talking about all your spiritual gifts that now you can use in your
Yeah.
current, your current life,
Yeah.
and the same is here. And that is so true, that God is a limitless person, and so are we, and that's how
Yeah.
we got to live.
Yeah. You know, I had reached out to you, I think maybe a week or two ago. You had recently dropped a video on Instagram. Number one, first of all, before I get into my little spiel, did you edit it? Because the edit was tea.
Wait, what? Yeah, no, I edited it. It had to be.
The edit
Which
was
video was it,
tea.
girl? Tell me which one, but
Girl,
I feel like I did.
let me pull it on up because the video was tea.
You better find the video,
I was like,
girl.
come on and inspire me then. Okay. So it was, I'm pretty sure it was this one about mission, purpose, plan.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I edited that. Did.
I absolutely loved it. Number one, oh my goodness. Okay, so let me get into my thought. I love that video, and it made me go through like a lot of your content. And something that I noticed within your content is like this freedom of expression. Like, I just noticed that you just be yourself. And even in your storytelling, I hear the authenticity of you being yourself. I think it was something that you were doing for one of your friends, or
Yeah,
sisters.
the pregnancy box, the
Yes.
mommy box. Yeah.
Yeah. And like even that in the storytelling was beautiful. And it was like, oh my goodness, like I get to see another aspect of who Leslie is and what kind of
Hmm.
person she is, how she show up for her friends. And I remember like DMing you saying, like, girl, you didn't inspired me, because I think that for me on social media, even as I'm growing on social media, I feel like I started adopting this mindset of I have to be perfect and kind of mimic other people. And it was like
Same.
seeing your content inspired me, like, girl, be yourself. Be yourself on the
And you
internet.
just such a great person to be like, and can't nobody do it like you, girl. So why not? Ain't nobody on the internet like you, or in the world.
It was another video that I saw. I think you were going to maybe a concert, a festival,
Yes,
and
yes.
yes,
I
and
was
like
getting
you,
dressed, like
yes,
trying to do my outfit. Yeah.
I'm telling you, when I say I was out here on my stalker you vibes, because I was like, oh my goodness, I love this
I had
woman's
so much fun with
content.
that video. I had so much fun doing that video. But you are absolutely right. Like there is a progression to where I am now to where I
Yeah.
was. So when I first started, I was definitely, I feel like I was more so trying to mimic what I saw.
Okay.
Still showing my personality, obviously, because there you can't, it's so much you can do to be somebody else, right?
Yeah.
Like, or to mimic what you see. But it was like I was telling you, even though I was experiencing or trying to do a lot of the things I saw that people I liked as creators doing, I was also like, well, if I do it like them, then maybe I'll get the following they have, and da 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 da. Da. That ain't really last long. It ain't
I'm
last long
screaming.
because it's hard to be somebody else, honey. I'll tell you that
It
one
is
way or
hard
the
to be
other.
somebody else. Yeah.
It's so tough. But then as I started to like get into more of the natural hair content, the military content, I was able to show various different authentic sides of myself, right? Like
Mm.
wasn't completely full blown les, because there is certain parameters, right? Like as a
Right.
service member,
Yeah.
there's just a certain level or place I can go, right?
Yeah.
Which was limiting already.
Mm.
There it is. So that's kind
Yeah.
of where I was starting to recognize after getting out. I was like, girl, you've been doing stuff, but
Yeah.
you haven't really been able to express yourself the
Yeah.
way that you would like because of those limitations. And
Yeah.
so when once I transitioned out and I started my project management job, I did have a bit more autonomy, but I was still in a professional space.
Yeah.
So while that level of I guess, am I saying that right? Conservatism? Sure, whatever.
Sure. Let's go with
Yeah, let's go with it. While I was being
it.
conservative, with what I was able to say
Yeah.
as a service member. I was able to lower that bar a little bit with
Yes.
being a professional project manager, but I was also still in a male dominated space,
Mm.
and one that I, as a black person, hadn't necessarily penetrated as much. I wasn't seeing a lot of
Yeah.
me in this
Yeah.
particular organization.
Hmm.
So I was really kind of still tiptoeing, right? I didn't want to, wiggle too much.
Yeah.
But once I was able to get out, one, it became apparent that your girl been she been silenced for a little bit. I
Yeah.
really did not recognize how much I was censoring myself
Yeah.
in, my expression until I was able to actually let loose and not care, what the perception was
Yeah.
about what I'm communicating. And so
Yes.
it took, and it's still something I struggle with, right? It's
Mm.
took a lot, because I also am a recovering perfectionist.
Same
So,
here. Say, oh Jesus.
oh, hallelujah, girl. Sometimes we gotta talk to each other, girl.
Okay,
Yes.
help
So,
me.
so I was struggling with both of those things. Like, okay, you still perfectionist, still trying to get through that, but then also trying to really find your voice,
Yeah.
even after having nothing holding me back, right?
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of a transition, but I'm definitely in a better space now. And I believe my content and what I'm doing now is a
Yeah.
reflection of that. And honestly, Big G has been so instrumental in me
Yeah.
understanding what type of focus, or excuse me, the formats in which
Mm.
I can communicate, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not that everything gets all the views, but the ones that, maybe the areas in which I hadn't touched, the ones that talk where I'm talking about my opinion, like
Yeah.
the one you were just referencing,
Yeah.
those are the ones that people are really resonate, right? Because now
Yeah.
they can get into my mind. It's
Yes.
not just this is what looks cute on me, like,
Yeah.
oh, da da da. And then the other ones where it's kind of vlog style, or me communicating about what I'm doing for my friends, that kind of really shows people who I am,
Yeah.
right? It's not any more of this like cookie cutter. I really like this skincare brand and it does well for my skin. You know, the stuff that we were taught. I'm not gonna hold you. We were taught that's kind of how the influencer industry was transitioning. It started off. I
Yes.
feel like it started off like super authentic, and then when they started to
Yes.
recognize it was a moneymaker, it was like, okay, but
Yes.
we need to commercial this up a little bit. And
Yes.
now it's like the girls and guys is over that.
So
They want
over
the
it.
true back, authentic, like tell us
Yes.
the real deal, Holyfield. So I feel like we had like those, little blocks in time with influencer marketing, creator marketing, etc. But I'm glad that I moved along with them, even
Yeah.
though I'm sad about the middle part. But
Yeah.
I'm glad that I was able to move along and get back into my authentic bag and really show every side of me. And
Yeah.
that's where the limitless part comes in. Because, like I said, I was still authentic, but you didn't really get everything. But
Yeah.
now you can get a lot more than
Yeah.
what I was able to give back in the day.
And I felt that for myself as well because of the job that I worked for 8 years. It was very professional.
Hmm.
And in my mind, I was a blue collar worker, but I wasn't. But just know it was very professional. And so when I would post stuff on social media, I felt like I had to make sure it always mirrored like high professionalism,
Hmm.
and never coming outside that box. And so recently you had just mentioned like it was when you got to a place where you just kind of like didn't care anymore.
Hmm.
And recently I was telling one of my homegirls, or maybe three of them, I told a few of them.
It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I was telling them like, y'all, like I'm sick. I'm sick of holding myself back because behind the scenes I do a lot of funny stuff. It is
Girl, you
ridiculous.
give hilarious. It's giving comedian on the low ski.
It's given. I was studying some comedy last night because I think somewhere in my heart I'm supposed to be doing comedy too. And look, yesterday, or not yesterday, last week, like I said, when I was seeing your videos, it was ministering to me without me having a conversation with you. Because
Mm.
once again, I felt like there was this freedom of just expression. I love how you were sitting down and you were just telling us your opinion. And I was like, this just feels so authentic. It feels so real. And I had told one of my homegirls, my friend Alex, she was on here. I had said, I am just so tired of not expressing myself. It feels like I'm doing myself a disservice and the people
And
around
the
me because
people.
y'all don't get to see like who
Mm-mm.
is Ashley. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sitting here trying to post all the Fire Ash media stuff I'm doing, and that's good and dandy and all of that good jazz. But it's
Mm-hmm.
so much behind who is Fire Ash. Like, and even when I created the username She is Fire Ash, God had told me, because that girl, I was trying to figure out like what name can I use that can define all of me. And I went through a plethora of names and none of them fit because they didn't, I couldn't fine tune myself. And so
Mm-hmm.
She is Fire Ash was like, no, She is Fire Ash who does a lot of things. Like she is all these things. And so something that you just said, like when you mentioned the video and how people really enjoy like hearing your opinion,
Mm-hmm.
girl, I kid you not, these few little videos I put together off just me having fun, people feeling them. Somebody said, I love this side of your content. I was like, I'm the
Don't
problem.
limit yourself. I'm saying, who gonna need to find you? Gonna find you, baby. Whether it's that content, your podcast content, whatever, whoever you want to show the world, the right people gonna find you. That's just it.
So
And it's gonna sit deeply with you. You
yeah,
know, like so. Yeah.
because real talk, I felt so fulfilled last week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I did a lot of things, but the things that made me feel fulfilled was I felt like I was finally able to express myself. Like, y'all, this is really who I am. And I wish y'all could hear some of the conversations I have with my dog. Yeah, we go
But
there.
remember that feeling. Remember that feeling. I think I seen a video last week. It was
Uh
like
huh.
this. It was like a kid, and he was like running, doing his run or whatever. He had beat his record or what have you. And he was just so excited. And his dad or his trainer, I don't know who they were to him, but they was like, remember this feeling. So when you get to those points where you want to revert back or you don't want to
Ah,
go for a
yeah,
run
yeah.
today or do this, that, and the other, or for example, for you, oh, we want to revert back to the old content or less
Right.
expressive Ash or whatever
Yes.
the case may be, you remember that comment, girl. We love that. We love this side of the content. And you remember how you felt when you did the content. Oh, this is great. So that you can stay in that lane and you don't revert back. And that's the part we got to keep reminding ourselves when we're trying to make a transition and we're trying to get to a different place, the place that we want to be. Remind you of how we felt when we did that thing, so we don't go back to the place that we're trying to transition from.
I needed that. I
Hmm.
needed that. That makes
I
me
needed
think
it
of
too, girl. I got to remind myself too, because sometimes,
freaking screaming. I really needed that because it's like I go through these seasons where I forget. And then I will have the same old epiphany I already had. Like, oh my goodness. It's like every springtime. I'd be like, oh my goodness, I like creating. Let's create all these videos.
hmm,
And then I just kind of forget somewhere I get busy and I'd be like, yeah, nah, I don't know. But what you was
let
about
your
to say?
platform serve as your reminder. Like I literally have to go back, right? Like scroll. We scroll. Sometimes mindlessly scroll through social media stuff. Sometimes I don't have this like as a set system, and I should, because every time I do it, I'm like, girl, you really are that girl. I don't know who's trying to talk you out of it, but mm, good
Mm,
thing you did this. And that's going back. I go back to my social media, like my YouTube,
uh-huh.
my Instagram, my TikTok and stuff. And I go through and I watch my videos. Like I'm like, and
Mm.
I go down, like, a few like maybe a few weeks or so, or, just keep going. Like that's how I'm like, oh dang, I do love that video that I did when
Yes,
I went to the
yes,
festival and I did the woo the woo. So, it just
yes.
completely re-inspires you to get back into that bag. And so that's what I would say. Like, if you don't have, a calendar, maybe put it on a calendar reminder to go look at what you've done, your progress,
Yes.
and how you continue to, show who you are and show up for yourself, especially online, if that's like what you're doing.
Yeah.
Find a reminder. Find a reminder. Keep reminding yourself so that, you don't forget and you can keep going and progressing.
That is so good. And that's biblical. You know. preacher woman. Got to tie that all
Hey,
back to
come on now.
Jesus.
Bring it
That
home, sister.
it just makes me think about, when God had the children of Israel, he told them to gather the stones so that they
Mm-hmm.
could remember, and so that the generations after them could
We'll
remember.
remember.
and,
Mm-hmm.
and something that I had taught on like 2 weeks ago was, I think it was called canceling the attack of the enemy. And one of
Mm-hmm.
the strategies that I said the enemy has is he's very good at helping us have amnesia. If you
Mm-hmm.
can forget who you are, if you can forget the power that you have, if you can forget these things, then you won't operate in who you are. And I think that that's why what you said felt so spiritual and powerful to me, because it's like, Ashley, remember, I was studying this morning. I love Romans. I love Romans. At this point, Paul is my best friend,
No
and I'm
period.
okay with it. And so when he was saying, be not conformed to the patterns of this earth, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Something about that, I'm just staying there because it's
Mm-hmm.
something so powerful about renewing your mind. And even as a content creator, we have to often renew our mind, especially according to the word of God, because if we're operating again according to the culture, there's some people online that will tell me, you need. I'm. Oh, let me slow down. I posted this video about how I use a paper towel.
Mm-hmm.
I've never worn makeup until this part of my
On
life,
that couch, girl. I remember I seen you lay that thing on that couch.
and somebody said, "Yeah, you need to wear makeup or something like that." And I was like, "Excuse me."
Wait a second. Was that supposed to be shade?
It was. It was.
Not they coming like that.
And I was like, well, I'm just doing the Lord's work. Let me go ahead and remove you because I don't need that on my page.
Absolutely not. And block real bad.
Uh, my block skills they're at top tier right
Crazy.
now.
All
Okay.
time high. That's a
But that
skill.
that was a reminder that even in the midst of that, I can't allow what somebody else's perspective or words to make me question who God told me to be. Like
Mm-hmm.
like God, like you said, how He gave you those downloads. He often, if you're listening, He often gives us downloads. He gives us visions, but there will be distractions that will try to take away
Mm-hmm.
the seeds that he's planted. There will be weeds that try to plant
Mm-hmm.
themselves to be able to steal or kill the growth that God is trying to expose you to. And so, like I said, I felt like that was really good. Another question that I have for you, because obviously you have, to me, you a celebrity.
Chill out. Chill out.
I told somebody today, I said, anybody who got over 20,000
Please.
followers,
Half of them
they
is dormant, honey. Leave it alone. It doesn't even matter, honey. They were from a different season. They're not even here anymore. It doesn't matter. I'll take anybody's 1,000 that's engaged over my 56. That's half of them ain't, and some of them is.
You see, I don't think that we on the other side of 2000, I'm on my way somewhere. I don't think that we take that in consideration. Like, oh, she got all these followers, but they ain't all engaging.
They ain't all here. They ain't all
That's
here.
so
Yeah,
interesting.
and that's what I'm saying. That's why the comparison thing.
Yes,
It's
go
just like,
ahead.
please, because I would switch in a heartbeat, and then
Yeah,
sometimes like start over. But honestly, sometimes, like you said, people see that number, and that sometimes facilitates leads.
yeah,
Get leads, even though there's value there, period. But that does facilitate leads, so it doesn't necessarily hurt or help me to start over again. But
yeah.
if I really, speaking to that is like, yeah, half of them ain't really that, I don't know, they came at a different time. But that's also sometimes
Mm.
the, I don't want to say the downside.
Uh huh.
Hmm. That's a factor in being
Mm.
limitless. You have seasons that you go through
Mm.
that your content speaks to and may speak to a certain number of people or certain, demographic of people. And then
Yeah,
when you shift seasons, those same people may not necessarily be engaged with the season
that's
you're going
good.
to. And so
Mm.
maybe they'll still follow you, but they may not engage with your current content,
That's good.
etc. And so, but then the good news is wherever you are in this new season, the people that you need to reach will stay, will come around and then you can grow from there. But that is I guess a caveat to creating limitlessly because it
Yeah.
can, things can shift. And I love that though, because I think in this culture, a lot of people believe that that creators are supposed to stay the same. They're not supposed to grow. It's
That's
supposed to be like
good.
Lizzie McGuire and wear the same outfit and do the
Freaky
same things
screaming.
and stay in high school. I mean, or middle school. I don't know which school she was in, but that's just not the reality of the situation. Like we growing up, people is having kids. They becoming
Literally.
parents.
Yeah.
They're doing so much with their lives and they want to share it with you. So that is why you should show up authentically, because I would like people would hope that in the future people follow me because they know my personality and they want to
Mm.
join and share my journeys, because I'm
Yeah.
going to have a bunch, versus she creates skincare content. I want to follow
Yeah.
her for that, and then I'll disengage whenever that stops. And that's just
Yeah.
not the type of community I want to build. So yeah.
What would be your advice to the person that's on social media? I would say the overthinker that's on social media and they're focused on the numbers, and the numbers is hindering them from being able to just create authentically because they're trying to show up perfectly, so it's hindering them.
Just post the content, girl and guy. And I literally hear it's like these I watched one of my homegirls grow online, and oftentimes her advice after posting something is just post the content, and then she'll explain why, right? And it's like, I posted this piece of content that wasn't perfect. I did it spur of the moment. I had a bonnet on with the woo. I just felt like I needed to do what I needed to do and get this out. And that same piece of content got her
Oh wait, the sound went out. Dang it, the sound went out. Jesus, you know we need to hear this next part. Oh my goodness. Riverside, I want my money back. It's on mute. Oh my goodness. There we go. Um, hmm. This Riverside, you didn't stress me out tonight. That's all I'm saying. I think I can hear you again, sis. No, he was going strong. I stopped with everything. I was my husband said to continue recording, tell him to stop and start the audio. Can you see the screen?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Dang, but I can't hear you. Hold on.
Check one, two, coming through with some rhymes until we get it to work again. Can you hear me? Is this thing working? I know, Whitney, we're doing so good, and the computer is hating. Can you hear me on the mic? Check one, two. This is giving me the blues. I should have been a rapper. You still can't hear me? Oh, Jesus. Lord. Oh,
Can you hear me though?
I can hear you.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop back in and
Okay.
see. Okay.
I think this is so interesting how this is such a good episode. And I've never had these issues, guys. But on this episode, where she giving me the secret sauce that I need to hear, we got all these technical difficulties. So I just want to say thank y'all for bearing with us as we figure out what is going on. And if y'all do have some questions for Leslie, because we'll be wrapping up soon, if you do have some questions, definitely feel free to put them in the chat, and I will get to them as she pops back on. If not, I'm just grateful that y'all was hanging out with us today. Man, this is such a good conversation. Oh, Jesus. Whitney, I know you got a lot of good questions. This is the part of the podcast where I need to play some elevator music for y'all. Do 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 do. Oh my goodness. For anybody who is just hopping on, we were having some technical difficulties. We're waiting on our guest to get back on. We are just waiting for her to get back on. We just waiting for her to get back on. There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hallelujah. I know it's struggling, but you know what? It's all right. I remember where I was at.
I'm going to send you an award.
Yeah, let me just make sure we good. Okay. Okay, so I was just basically saying like she posted the content and she's gotten brand partnerships.
Mm.
She's gotten plenty of opportunities with large brands like TikTok, Apple TV, all these various different things, but it's not because her content was perfect.
Mm.
It's because she posted the content and she was who she was. She expressed
Yeah.
her opinions about she's a movie creator and
Mm.
her creator name is Jock's Watch List. And she basically
Hold on, wait.
yeah,
Hold
yeah.
on, wait.
You need to be a guest, girl. Okay?
Hold on, wait a freaking minute.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to make that plug. When I say I talk about her all the
All the
time,
time.
I go to her page every
For all the Rex. Yes.
almost every day. I'll be like, wait,
What's
wait.
up? What's up?
My name is Jock, but if you're looking for movies, don't worry, I got
I
you.
got you.
I kid you not. I love her. I love her page. She
Love
inspires
her
me too.
down.
Girl, I
I literally, we be in here talking about, me and my man, we be talking about what movies and TV shows to watch. I be like, well, I heard, this is what I say. I say, I heard that it wasn't that good. And he was like, well, where you hear that from? Jock. I mean, this is the only person I'm telling you. When I say they, I'm talking about Jock. Okay?
she be so on point. She be knowing exactly when I say her recommendations be recommendations. I trust her as much as I trust IMBD or DB, whatever it's called.
Yeah, IMDb.
Just know, girl,
Yeah.
make that plug if you can
No,
because
Jock's watch list. If y'all ever
I'm a super
need,
fan.
if y'all are running out of things to watch, y'all need to follow my girl because she got you. She gonna give
Cause
you
she
all the tea and the
literally
download.
here I got
She
you,
get all the tea
Whitney.
and download.
I will put it. I follow her on
Put it in the
TikTok and
chat.
Instagram. Okay,
Put it in the chat. But
because
but to
go ahead.
like yes, to
I
my
told you I
point
got distracted.
is
Sorry.
her advice is to just post the content. I honestly hear that, and a lot of people say that. A lot of people are saying like just post the content, and I think what it's truly speaking to is those people who like me to to a degree
Uh huh.
waiting to or wanting the edit to be perfect or
Literally.
waiting to get the energy to add this or that, etc., when baby it's fine.
Yeah.
The point is that you do your best with what you have
Yeah.
to tell your story, to
Yeah.
put your opinion out there, to share. That's what it is. And that's what I feel like when people say just post content, that's what they're saying. So if you're overthinking it, if you
Yeah.
feel like it's a struggle, you're focusing on the numbers and not what's truly authentic to you.
Yeah.
I would advise you post content, but two, also reevaluate your why.
Yeah.
Because if it's just for the numbers, if it's just to get partnerships, if it's just to make money, that's going to run out really soon.
That's
I
good.
promise you. Because when the money stops flowing, because there will be times, believe you
Yeah.
me, I'm not getting a check every month.
Mm.
But when the money comes in, I feel good because it does facilitate my passion and it
Mm.
continues to inspire me to continue. and continue to do what I do and show up the way that I show up, which is authentically. So I think if that is the goal, like if your goal is just like, oh, I just want to make money, blah, 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 the brief's well, but this is, social media and it's not ours, it's
Yeah,
not ours. So if at any point Instagram, Meta, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube shuts down, then where the money at?
that's good.
What you gonna do?
That's really good.
So I think it's evaluating your why and making sure you stick with that and that's embedded in the content you produce.
Man, oh my goodness. I wholeheartedly feel like that was God saying she need to make the plug, y'all, because I kid you not, I'm not like a super fan of many people at all, but I'm a super fan of hers.
I love her.
I
Yeah, we went to school together. We went to school together, USC and everything. She live up here. I think at least she ain't moved, but she live in Charlotte. Same.
it's the fact that you said one of my favorite creators that she said she just post a video.
It's post
Wow.
content.
Wow.
Hmm.
I'm flabbergasted. So apparently, guys, on Instagram, we have been super zoomed in. I don't know what to tell y'all over there. I love y'all. I love y'all. We look. We've been fighting for our life the whole
Okay,
episode.
we've had about 3 technical glitches, difficulties, but we figured it out. I mean, God willing, we came back through.
We
And
came
hopefully the
back.
message was received by the people who needed it.
I received it. The whole message was for me.
Hey,
I
period.
needed that message. Whoa.
Amen.
Where's that towel I mentioned backstage? I need.
Please, Ashley. Whew. Lord, get into that bag, girl. Get that
I
preacher
just have
bag.
to say the fact that you were able to remember exactly where you left off at.
Wasn't nothing but God. Amen. Hallelujah.
Round of applause because I forgot half of the stuff I was saying mid sentence. So I just have to say, you really deserve an award. When you came back, by the way, my favorite part about this episode was when the computer went out and you came back just waiting.
Just
I'm just waiting
waiting.
on, just waiting to figure itself out because I'm still here, guys.
Still here.
Oh my goodness. I think I've recovered. I think
Okay.
I've recovered. So, I told you I always like to leave every guest with one specific question. And
Okay.
this is the time, chat, that you can begin to submit your questions if you have any for Leslie while we still have her. If not, I need y'all to go ahead and follow my homegirl on social media. Like I said, she's one of the creators that I've been inspired by. If you need just a little bit of authentic inspiration, please talk to my sis because
At Leslie Latrice, baby. At Leslie Latrice on all platforms. LeslieLatrice.com if you're really trying to get to know the kid.
and she has a book club. And she has a book club.
Read Me Sis book club. Yes, absolutely. We read one book a month. This one. This is all you need. Baby steps.
I've been a fan, but on the sidelines, and I keep telling myself we gonna get the book that she put out there.
Hmm.
We gonna become a
It's
participant.
all right, girl. May come. May is on the way.
Cause I did just see you posted in the group the new book.
I
Looks like my
posted in there now because we need recommendations for the May book, and so the
mm,
past 2 months we've been doing kind of fictional stuff,
mm,
fictional genres and things like that, which is good because it gives us a little break from the self help
right,
work.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Even though
yeah.
it's still embedded in there, it's less like concentrated on the self help stuff. So this month we on the self help, historical fiction, memoir type books. So I'm
So
excited.
before I ask my last question, another one just came to mind. I want to
Okay,
know what led to you even creating the book club.
girl, self exploration. Them books. Then first of all, I was never a reader. Let's just go ahead and put it out there.
Mm,
The leadership used to be like, you need to be reading books. that take too long. And then some of these things ain't even fun to read. Like all the books that they was having us read, it was so boring. I was like, why can't you read a book when we can watch a movie? That was my mindset. That was my mindset for a long little bit, right? Much quicker. But there are there are benefits, obviously, to reading, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I think it was a conversation I had with my brother, and very similar to what you were referencing. Is like shifting the mindset and like really gaining knowledge. And even though I'm not in school, I was like, well, a lot of the time I relied on going to school, right, to be educated. But there's so many educated people out there who have written books and that
Yeah.
really can give us so much. And all you got to do is read it. The books is short, long, in between, whatever the case may be. But on top of that, many of the books I had started were self-help books. And at that time, like 2 years ago, I was really, again, exploring identity.
Yeah.
So these books were allowing me to self-reflect on my life, asking questions. I love the books that have like exercises in them, such as the Master of Me, like Kiki Palmer's book. I really love that one
Mm.
because she actually made you test what she told you, and then she
Mm.
gave you some things to help you explore yourself.
Oh wow.
Right. Same with the Atomic Habits, and all these other
Love
books
the
really
Atomic
just help
Habits.
you,
Yeah.
help you just to be your best self. And
Yeah.
that's a part of my journey too. It's like that's what I want to be, my best self. So ultimately, I had joined a book club last year, and I really loved like the community. I just a
Yeah.
sisterhood. I love it
Yeah.
in every aspect, every form, especially when we're coming together to make ourselves better people. I'm
Yeah.
for it. So I joined that book club, and I was really inspired by them. And I had, read about 9 books with them. I was with them for 9 months, and I'm still a part of the book club, just haven't
Mm.
necessarily participated as much. And I was put on by a girl Jock actually for the same book club.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, that's full circle. But so I created the club because I wanted more I wanted to help women, specifically millennials,
Yeah.
to not just read the book, but use it as a tool for self exploration.
Mm.
And so what our book club does is when we read the books, we're meeting every week right now. So we have
Okay.
like chapter, you know, and I don't know if that will continue, but it's been working. We think we started our first book back in July. So that's kind of
Mm.
where we are. But when we have those weekly meetings, the questions are related to the book, so we can express our opinion about what the book is offering, but also, okay, this character is struggling a lot with pressure. How do you
Yeah.
handle pressure on a day-to-day
Dang, that's
basis?
good. Yeah.
And things like that. Like it really has us not just looking at what's going on within the book, but internalizing it and like, hey girl, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And so I really like that because it really does help us to learn more about ourselves and just grow with each other. And it's become
Yeah.
a really I mean, it's a community, but only a few of us come to the actual book club. So we kind of connected a lot,
Mm.
and share. And it's really safe space from what I want to create, but also from what I've been told by the members of the group. So if you're
Yeah.
looking for a safe space, to self explore, but also read really fun and different types of books,
Yeah.
join Read Me, sis. Come join us.
Now, the books that you read, are some of them available on Audible? Is my question.
Absolutely, girl. I'm reading one on Audible right now.
Because
Everything they count. I don't care what the reading community, what everybody be saying. The Audibles count.
let me tell you, my Audible game. Oh, I listen to a book almost every day. I like listening to books. Stopping and reading them, I don't know if I have the capacity most days because I don't feel like it. But I can
It's okay,
drive and listen to my book.
and that's it. And my thing is I got 12 credits to use. So what you gonna tell them?
Do
I'm gonna
you
use my
hear
credit.
me? Okay.
I'm gonna use them credits. That's one thing about it. But how I determine if I'm gonna read an Audible or if I'm gonna read a regular book is how long that book is. If it says like a 7 hour, 8 hour read, I might pick it up. But if it's like 12 hours, then we gonna have to listen to this him.
I'm gonna have to listen to it.
We're gonna
I'm
have
gonna
to
have
listen
to
to that.
listen to it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna try to put my big girl draws on and actually
Get that Audible, girl.
Get
Cha-ching.
that Audible book, because I saw, like I said, I saw
Absolutely. Ain't no
the
shame in it.
I saw the chat earlier today, and I was
Hmm.
like, I always have said like I want to join a book club, and so now that it's like an opportunity, it's like, okay, Ashley, maybe actually join
Ash, you
one.
gotta join. We have a good time.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
like the community aspect. It probably keep me accountable too.
Mm-hmm.
Read the book,
Mm-hmm.
finish the book with
But
it.
it ain't no shame. It's when you can, and that's just all right. Ain't no shame in it. And sometimes I be like, "Oh, thank God ain't nobody show up. I'm tired." Woo.
Freaking screaming. So what day is the actual book club
We
meeting?
do book club on Thursdays at 7.
Well, I probably won't be able to join until July
Oh, because today, wait, well,
podcast.
today's Tuesday. Oh, you
Yeah, I
got
do on
Tuesday and
Tuesday and
Thursdays, are
Thursday.
you? Okay,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, and that's again, it's not about attending the book club.
hmm,
It's about your own journey, your self exploration journey. So maybe what I could start doing, especially for those of us who can't make book club, is like put in the questions, like
yeah.
in the chat, put them in
That's
on the
good.
message board and stuff, so that people who aren't able to attend can still do their own self exploration. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to start doing that because um, to your point, not everybody can make it, but the whole point of it is
Yeah,
that you're reading the book and that you're, internalizing, doing some introspection. So
yeah. That's
yeah,
real good. Yeah, do that for me, and I'm gonna.
I got you, girl.
I appreciate it. Okay, guys. So for real, this time I was acting like a black person, saying, "Yeah, we about to get out of here," and I lied. So
Yeah,
the real
yeah.
question that I like to ask every single person at the end of the episode is, what is a mindset shift that you can leave with the audience, considering where they are now and where you would want them to be? What's the mindset shift that happens in between?
Okay, so I think that, and this is kind of what we've been talking about the whole time. We've been talking about it the whole time, and I have to re-emphasize it because I do think we get caught up in society, what
Yeah,
society wants us to be, who they want us to be, how they portrayed us to the world, etc. And so maybe you're that person who is trying to figure out who they are, who may be trying to make a transition into another space,
yeah,
but feel discouraged and put down by others, or have maybe even failed and
mm,
don't feel brave enough to step out on your own and do the thing that maybe you want to do. You might
yeah,
just be, scared to do that. And you want to be the person who has faith and belief in yourself that you can do anything
yeah,
on this earth, right? God gives us the strength to do any and everything. So you want to be that person, but you also want to be a person who's passionate about what they do
yeah,
and does not let other people, what negative things other people have to say impact what you're doing and who you are.
yeah,
And so the mind shift that I want to leave you all with is that you're a limitless human being.
mm,
Period. And like Ash, like you said, like you literally are embodying who God called you to be by really exercising every gift that you have.
yeah,
So while you're in that transition or when you're wanting to make that transition, it's a cause for self-exploration. It's a
yeah,
cause to figure out what you want to do, who you want to be, and how you can, mesh the two,
yeah,
right? Or extract from one so that you can figure out who you want to be, or take who you are and make a career for yourself, make a life for yourself, and do the thing that you've been trying to do. And in between that, I also think it's very important for, I know I don't want to tell people what to do with their religious and spiritual life, but I honestly and truly feel like leaning in on God in any transition is always going to bring you to where you want to be,
yeah,
essentially, and where God wants you to be. So living limitlessly and living your best life. And I think that mindset shift is just like no one but God is going to bring you to where you need to be.
yeah.
So
That's
listening to
good.
anybody else, comparing yourself to anybody else, it's a no-go. So eliminate those factors altogether, and I think you're going to make that transition very well.
I'm gonna be honest. Mic drop. Just gotta drop that mic. I think one of the biggest takeaways that I am walking away with from what you said is allowing myself to grow out loud and embracing the journey. Because when you said at the beginning of the episode that you did try tos, side note, I think I'm gonna steal that idea. Just throwing it out
Period.
there. But when you said you did try tos
How
instead of how
to.
tos,
Hmm.
it was like you were letting us know, like, I'm about to try this and y'all can try it with me. And
Right.
one of the things that God told me as I started this journey is that a part of it is me figuring out things as I go with Him and inviting people to be on that journey with me as I'm evolving with God.
Right.
And I just love how you've expressed several times, like, being limitless is allowing ourselves to experience life without the limits, without the constraints, without the perfectionism, without putting ourselves in a box. It's like letting ourselves be. And you also inspire me with the thought process that I can actually choose the life I want to live, because what
Absolutely.
the mindset I had when I was working a job was, this is the life that I'm in and I got to make the most of it. When I quit and I started working, I would say, for Jesus, for God, it was like, no, like, this is the life that I imagine and I want to experience these things. And so I
Hmm.
think that that was such a beautiful takeaway. That was a beautiful mindset shift that you have given us. And I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you for even taking this time to come on the podcast to share the wisdom and experience that you've had. I definitely
Of
would love
course.
for you to connect me with Jock Swashlist, because, you know,
I got you, girl.
that would be like my Beyonce celebrity moment that I would probably freak out. I ain't gonna lie. I'd probably freak out a little bit.
Period.
Be like, what we watching this week?
Yeah. Absolutely. She'd be a great ad for sure.
But for everybody that's tuning in on tonight, I just want to say thank you guys for rocking with me and continuing to show up every Tuesday and Thursday for the episodes and joining the table. Before we close out, Leslie, I want to ask you: do you have anything else you want to leave with the audience?
I love y'all already. I love you, but most importantly, love yourself and remember to live limitlessly and never let anybody convince you to do anything other than what you desire to do or be anybody other than who you authentically are. Follow me everywhere. Let's connect. Let's be cool. Let's be friends at Leslie Latrice. And my website is leslielatrice.com. And if share this with everybody you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, share this with the folks that you feel like could really receive this message. Okay, it doesn't
Yeah,
stop here. Let's help each other.
very good. So y'all heard it from here. We are done for the night. Your girl has to go to bed because I am tired. Just so y'all know. But I love y'all, and I can't wait to see you in the next conversation on Thursday. Join me at the table as I bring on yet another powerful guest. So with that, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.